We would like to acknowledge the traditional territory of the Tsawwassen and Musqueam First Nations and all of the Hunkaminam-speaking people who have been stewards of this land since time immemorial. We would also like to offer our respect to all of the elders who have gone before us and all Canadians who are on the journey of reconciliation.
This day responds to the calls to action number 80 from the TRC report. Call number 80 states, we call upon the federal government in collaboration with Aboriginal people to establish as a statutory holiday a national day for truth and reconciliation to honor survivors, their families and communities, and ensure that public communication of the history and legacy of residential schools remains a vital component of the reconciliation process.
September 30th coincides with Orange Shirt Day. Started in 2013, the day honors Indigenous children forced to leave their families to attend residential schools.
The last formal residential school was closed in 1996 in Saskatchewan.
Approximately 150,000 Indigenous children went to residential schools.
In 1920, it became a law for Indigenous families to send their children to residential schools.
There are 94 calls to action to advance the process of Canadian reconciliation.
The first uncovering of unmarked graves was in Tecumloops in June 2021.
National Indigenous Peoples Day is celebrated annually on June 21st.
The orange shirt references the experience of Phyllis Webstad, a residential school survivor who had her orange shirt taken from her on her first day of Indian residential school. Her grandmother had brought her a brand new orange shirt, but when she arrived, it was taken from her, and she never saw it again.
Hello everyone, my name is Phyllis Webstad. I am Shawetmch from the Strachamch, Kenno Creek, Chatlam, Dog Creek First Nation, which is about 1.5 hours southwest from Williams Lake, BC. I grew up with my granny on the Dog Creek Reserve until I was 10, then moved with my auntie after she finished university. When I had just turned 6, I was sent to the St. Joseph Indian Residential School near Williams Lake, a place we called the Mission. My granny bought me a shiny new orange shirt to go to school in. When I got there, I was stripped, my clothing taken away, including my new orange shirt, and I never saw it again. I was no longer excited to be going to school. I wanted to go home to Granny. I had to stay there for 300 sleeps. No matter how much all of us little kids cried, it didn't matter. No one listened to us. Our feelings didn't matter. We didn't matter. I am the third generation that attended residential school. Both my grandmother and mother attended the Mission for 10 years each. Today is a day to honor and remember residential school survivors and their families. Every child matters, even if you're an adult. We must also remember those children that never made it and are no longer with us. Today is a day for survivors to tell their stories and for us to listen with open hearts. I am humbled and honored that you are all taking part in Orange Shirt Day. When I was in school, I didn't know my own history, so I am overjoyed that you are taking part and learning the true history of Canada's First Peoples. Gukshjem, thank you.
Read a book by a First Nations author. There are lots of picture books, graphic novels, and novels that are available for all ages.
Visit the UBC Indian Residential School History and Dialogue Center.
Learn about the local First Nations and the territory we are on.
Find out where the residential schools existed in BC and the rest of Canada.
Look at a First Nation map to see the number of nations that exist in their respective territories.
Listen to different land acknowledgements and personalize your own.
Visit the beautiful Squamish Lillooet Cultural Center in Whistler.
Visit the Museum of Anthropology at UBC.
Read the TRC calls to action.
Wear an orange shirt on September 30th.
This year, students can watch a virtual event online hosted by the National Center for Truth and Reconciliation.
I hope that what you've seen and heard today causes you to pause and reflect as we head into the National Day for Truth and Reconciliation tomorrow. This can be a very emotional and difficult day, so if you require any support or know of anyone who would benefit from support, please reach out to a counselor or to a trusted adult. Thank you.